Real tea, plastic savage. Ooh, spill that tea.
Alright, y'all, if you're really confused, I just wanted to give you a quick briefing on what's going on. So, this story actually is about the interview that Boosie Badass did on The Breakfast Club this morning regarding Lil Nas X. There's actually more parts of the interview, but to be quite honest, no one really cares what Boosie does, and no one is really ever checking for him lately unless he's saying another homophobic thing or being weirdly, like, stalkerish about someone who he claims he doesn't like. Allegedly. So, the only part that anyone's really talking about is the aspect that has to do with Lil Nas X, which includes homophobic rants and basically him just trying to drive this delusional point home that he feels as a straight man that he is oppressed. And I can't believe those words came out of my mouth. It's nonsense. All right, let's get into it.
What about even saying like you would beat his ass? So, and I saw Lil Nas X responded to that. You think that's too far?
Nah, because I just be feeling like sometimes I gotta speak up because, you know, as far as straight people in the world, you don't have an opinion on homosexuality. Everything is harm. If you say anything, I'm straight, I like women, it's vulgar to.
I don't know that's vulgar.
Ain't true.
Yes.
No, but I just
you can't brag on.
I just
really
think
smashing
That ain't
on
true.
your sexuality.
I don't
no
think
more.
anybody has a problem.
It's ran by.
Boosie
the
rappers been talking about
LGBTQ
fucking women forever in videos and they songs. That ain't changed.
I know it's a different day now. You can't. Just like the baby, like bro, like you know, like how many times you been on set? All y'all DJs.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard somebody say, if you ain't got AIDS, make noise in the whole club. Ah!
Oh, no, you're right. That's true. That's true. But it's a different time.
No, it's a different time, and because he's one of the biggest. You know, so they try to make examples out of people, you know, so the next person who blow like this, you gonna go with this. And I feel, you know, they're attacking our children. You know, you make all the other, you make everybody support this. Who love these rappers?
The kids?
The kids.
Yeah, but you know,
you make every rapper go with it. If every rapper go with it,
I heard
you grab that generation. I know I loved every rapper when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
I loved every rapper. You know what I'm saying? I try to copy what they did. You know what I'm saying? And it's a new day now, and I just feel like, you know, they pushing it on our younger generation.
Listen, I love rap, I love hip hop, I love our culture. But you know, I saw you say that, you know, you feel like he is a negative influence. Why are you acting like rappers haven't been negative influences for years? Whether it's talking about murder, celebrating the drug culture, the gang culture, violence against women, like we just as negative. So how is he the person that you decide to point at and say, "Oh, you're ruining it for the kids"? What have street rappers done to the kids?
I really get offended when it was like he was saying that he would go up there and perform naked in front, you know, all the shit, all the people. And I was like, damn, you know, all these straight people in the world, all these millions of kids gonna watch this, and no straight rapper ain't gonna say, hey, nah, nigga, nigga, we don't want you on that TV. Nobody's not gonna, you know.
Yeah, I don't understand that logic, Boosie. I saw you say that people be trying to be straight. How you try to be straight? If you're straight, you ain't got to try to be. I don't care.
Run it back again.
On the video, you said people trying to be straight. You said Lil Nas will dance in front of the men, and this, you know, these little boys trying to be straight. I'm like, how you try to be straight?
No, I'm just saying as far as if you got your kids watching TV, would you want, if you trying to straight raise strong young black men, would you be cool with your kids sitting there watching it?
Strong black men not gonna be.
Would you be cool with sitting there, if you trying to raise that, and would you be cool and sitting there watching Nas X go up there and take his clothes off?
What age we talking about?
you're part of the problem.
What age we talking about? Because I don't want my kids looking at anything sexual at a certain age.
Yeah, at a certain age.
But once they get to a certain age, nothing wrong with that.
Girl, man, girl. I want my kids.
Because by the
I'm
way,
just saying, this is a national stage. This is a national stage.
man, Boosie, we grew up seeing worst images on TV, man. We seen dudes on TV holding guns. Like I said, you know, celebrating violence against women, the drug culture, the gang culture.
And all this leads to my opinion.
Listen, it was embarrassing to watch. I honestly felt like I needed to dumb myself down to try and understand where he was coming from. But at the end of the day, you know, this is a man who is scared of another man's sexuality. That's really what it comes down to. This is a man who has lyrics saying that he likes watching girls kiss girls. That's okay for him. This is somebody who allegedly paid to have his 12-year-old son given oral by a prostitute. Allegedly. So all that's okay. But it's inappropriate for a gay man to proudly be gay in front of a 12-year-old. Because you don't agree with that. Well, no one's asking you that. But the reasons for you saying you don't agree with it are lies. They're fabrications based on your own insecurities. These are not real things. If someone has a fear of bees, so they never leave their house because they're afraid of running into a bee, that's their fault for never, I mean, like, granted, that's upsetting. But at the end of the day, that's your choice to decide to never get over it and to just kind of not have quality of life because of your fear of a bee. When in reality, you can go through life perfectly fine and be unbothered by a bee, and a bee can be unbothered by you. So, this interview was a mess. I do see a lot of people trying to twist it and, you know, kind of say to the Breakfast Club that, you know, shame on them. You know, shame on the Breakfast Club for even allowing him to come up on their platform and speak like that. I have a different take on that, and that is, I truly think that the Breakfast Club was trying to make it a teachable moment. You know, these viral videos of him ranting about homophobic stuff has been going around, and I think especially with the whole DaBaby situation and the way they blackballed him so fast. I mean, he lost so many business deals and opportunities, and he went from selling out stadiums to performing at someone's backyard birthday bash. I mean, the proof is right there. I don't think that that's the right way to handle things either, but unfortunately, the people who complain the most about cancel culture are the ones who deserve to be canceled. It's ironic that way. There are a lot of people who get canceled that, you know, make a mistake or whatever, but it's the people who are not even willing to learn from their mistakes. DaBaby, I believe, is willing and has been willing to learn from what his mistakes were. Whereas Boosie has no interest, and he's doubling down, tripling down, and his fabrications and basically gaslighting the LGBTQ community, you know, to try and twist the narrative and say that we as gay people have made straight people uncomfortable to be straight. Where? I mean, like, where? It make sense to me. From top to bottom, from left to right, none of it made sense. And every answer that he had, it seemed like he was just, it was a spin. It was all spin because he's uncomfortable with the true fact. The fact of the matter is, he's fine with two girls kissing. He's fine with a lesbian couple. Especially if, you know, they make a little room for him. His musty, allegedly, his allegedly musty, dirty ass. That's cool, though, for him, if it's a lesbian couple. But not a gay couple, not a gay man. And you can be gay, but you can be gay quietly in the corner, and you're not allowed to be You know, you're not allowed to talk about your sexual conquests, even though I'm allowed to talk about mine in every song that I release. I mean, this man really tried to sit there and say on The Breakfast Club that straight men in rap are not allowed to talk about their sexuality anymore. Meanwhile, one of the biggest criticisms about rap to this day is that all men talk about is bagging, you know, girls and sleeping with them and doing drugs and killing and all that. That's all okay though. That right? That's morally okay for you. And you know, they wanted a specific on what really bothered him about Lil Nas X. And of course he brings up this weak argument and is like, well, he said something about how he should go and perform naked on stage. Well, okay. Ozzy Osbourne bit the head of a bat off. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has been rock stars and rap stars and so many people that have done controversial things way worse than this. Let's talk about Eminem on his first album. Like, let's talk about Boosie on most of his tracks that he's been on, which I'm sorry, but I can't even name any because he's so, like, not relevant in that sense. I don't think he's a good art. I don't think he's an artist, and I don't think he's really a good rapper either. So I just think it's unfortunate that we're going to keep talking about him and keeping him relevant in some way when it's really just about his level of ignorance. It's not even about his talent level. Can you imagine hitting the headlines all the time because of how stupid you are, allegedly, and not for your music, not for what you're supposed to be famous for? A mess. That's what that is, a mess. Shout out to The Breakfast Club because they really stood up for the gays with the way that they asked those questions and the way that they were defending everything. And I really felt like they definitely were doing what was necessary, making it a teachable moment and trying to show him where he was misguided. And you know, here's the thing. Everybody can have their opinion, but I hate when people apply that to like basic human respect. Like, there was a time in society when like people kind of like kept to themselves and like you went home and you talked about each other in the privacy of your own home, and that was that. I understand society is really different these days and there's so many different variables, but life would be so much better if you really could just focus on you and what makes you happy instead of trying to take other people's happiness away. So, and I mean, in all reality, this man should be trying to work on like some new music or getting a ghostwriter or like something. But instead he's over here setting up crates in his yard and allegedly ordering prostitutes for his underage kid and, you know, bashing gays and saying that he thinks that gays, you know, and Lil Nas X should get their ass beat. It's embarrassing. I mean, like, has anybody asked this man, like, what do you do for a living? Because, like, can he say he raps? I mean, is he a musician? Like, does he just do interviews talking about how he doesn't like gay people, but he talks about them so much? I mean, damn. To me, it's giving obsessed. It's giving I secretly am gay. Allegedly. So. And I mean, while we're talking alleged, let's just look at some of the information that's been swirling around about him. Because people got a lot to say. Someone on Twitter said Boosie has 8 kids by 6 different women, didn't put a ring on none of their mother's fingers because he didn't want to pay alimony, got accused of murder, paid a prostitute to rape the son, allegedly. And I didn't hear about rape, I heard something else. and did time in prison for drugs, allegedly. But Lil Nas X is setting a bad example. Okay, Karen. Right. Now, I don't know about all of the things that I just read, but what I do know is the math's not mathing. The fake outrage over, I don't even know what these people are outraged over. It's it smells like a cover up because these people secretly like boys and don't want to admit it. Because we all know in rap culture, being gay, you know, is just finally having its moment for the men. And barely so. I mean, look at it. We have all this acceptance and all this progress in the world, and we are still sitting here talking about rap culture as if gay people don't have a place in it. That's crazy. That is literally, that is so insane to me. We need to do better. Boosie, you need to do better. Rap community needs to do better. Like, after trying to threaten to beat somebody up for being an openly proud gay person, a black gay man, by the way, a black man is threatening to beat up another black man because he is just saying he wants the right to be himself and to be treated equal. So that's confusing to me. So first he wants to say he's threatening him based on his sexuality. Then he's going to bring up saying that he finds him to be inappropriate. But on the same token, he wants to be allowed to say inappropriate things when he goes on stage. See, it's not, the math's not mathing. It's not adding up. And then on top of it, he's going to sit there and do this whole charade where he tries to portray that straight people are oppressed now. In what way are you oppressed? You've been literally granted more freedoms than these other people the whole time. Now you have a problem because the gay community is being treated equally. Now you don't like it, but you're going to also sit there and say you're an ally? No, I'm sorry. An ally doesn't have a problem with a gay person just being openly positive about who they are. And then to sit there and say he had a problem with him referencing himself, you know, going on stage naked. But all these other girls are on stage half naked all the time. Of course, if you're straight, you're not going to be excited to see another man naked. But how many women have to see these videos where they see half naked women or naked women performing on stage with these male rappers? How many times do we objectify women? All the time. But that's okay. Right? That's okay. If Lil Nas X was straight and had a bunch of, you know, women on stage with their breasts hanging out and their butts hanging out and wearing almost nothing, he would have been all for it. If there was two women kissing on the stage, he would have been all for it. But he's gonna sit there and say straight people are oppressed because every once in a while they have a gay person perform on stage and are openly gay. No, that's not oppression, stupid. That's just called society progressing while you are still in the dark ages. I mean, talking about bad influences in rap. What? I'm sorry, but to most people, like, in the mainstream world, rap is still considered a bad influence, period, because of the general context of what most rap songs are about. Drugs, killing, sex, violence, pimping, like, you know what I'm saying? And I love rap and I love hip hop, but that has been a symptom of it for a long time. This hyper masculine, gotta be super street. You know what I'm saying? Like, it always happens when you see a rapper come from the hood, you know, come from the ghetto, come from nothing. And when they start leveling up and start being taken seriously in the mainstream world, where it's not just they're popular amongst the black culture, they're popular amongst all culture. Suddenly they're a sellout. Suddenly they are whitewashed. Suddenly they don't care about where they came from. But that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to level up. Like, you have to learn that not everything you were taught in your original environment is like the truth. That's just based on what you were raised with. And much like racism, we need to get rid of homophobia. And it starts with us. All right, now usually I would say something like leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section below, blah, blah, blah. But this topic specifically is pretty cut and dry. I mean, you either get it or you don't get it. And if you don't get it, then maybe you should re-watch the video. But if you didn't get it before and you get it now, I'm glad. For everybody that's on the right page, the correct page, the same page, you know what it is. The fight never ends for equality. And on that note, thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for more videos.
Real tea, plastic savage. Ooh, spill that tea.